And hello, hello, hello. My name is Lena. Welcome to my desk. Well, I'm still I still got the cold. Sorry for my pronunciations. With before the cold was crazy, So you're in for a ride. But I just wanted to turn on the camera because I feel I'm neglecting my YouTube channel ever since I got sick. I actually caught the cold the 1st of October, which was the starting date for my Inktober. So I wanted it to be like something I shared on here on YouTube. And then I messed up because I was sick. So I'm trying to keep up, catch up. I think I'm doing okay. This is the 18th card, and it's like the 18th of October today. So yay me, right? My project is to color in a sheet that represent a tarot card, and then I am scaling it down, printing it out, and then that's how I'm gonna make my own deck of tarot cards while I am learning about it because it is Halloween month. So for me, it is my you could say my Halloween project because there's nothing wrong with like learning something new, right? So why not learn about this tarot card business here? So I set up this month to try to be able to lay a deck, if you can call it like that. Like lay down some cards and try in like a social game light vibe, try and analyze the cards that I lay down. Is it called a reading? I think it's called a reading, right? So yeah, that's a disclaimer. It's only entertainment, right? I'm so lucky that this card, the moon, actually is very likely to the artwork in front of my coloring book. It's illustrated by Alexis E. Thompson, and I can kind of follow her. I really like the way she colored in I think it's a moth, or yeah, it's gotta be a moth. And I'm totally like the way that she's skipping a lot of items and then just putting in stripes of color. So unlucky me, the border of this is not the same. So I cannot copy it completely. But maybe I can be inspired because there is some line work here on the flowers. So maybe I can actually be inspired to do what she does. And the reason why I am infatuated about this white space here is because it looks stunning when you scale it down. Let's say that all of this was splashed into colors, and then when you scale it down, it becomes so compact. So I kind of like the idea of preserving white on the page. It kind of speaks to me in the finished printout how it looks. So I will see what I can. Of course, my moon could be white, right? Oh, she's got like a lot of dark dots. Maybe I could just start putting in those. I'm not grabbing a completely black. I'm taking a dark slate gray. Yeah, I think that would be nice. But basically, what I usually do is that I sit and color in while I YouTube is learning about each card, and it brings me around a lot of streamers giving their analysis of each tarot card. And oh boy, there is a lot of ways to analyze what it means when you draw a card in tarot. I've learned that because a lot of people also include astrology. Some are more like pagan, so they got other aspects they look into. I was just so surprised that there actually is a lot of different ways to intuitively feel what the meaning of a card in tarot is. So I began noticing that what I learn on YouTube and what this author of this coloring book has left me of notes. The way that her coloring book was set up was that you got like the page that you got to put in color, and then on the opposite side there is a Danish description of her interpretation of the card and why she picked the items in her illustrations. The most classic way of doing this moon card is actually to have a figure looking like the Fool, which is like the first card in the major arcana. That it is the Fool looking up to the moon, but she has chosen a moth, which is confusing for me because some of the analysis in her coloring book is not really matching up with what I am listening to on YouTube. So, what have been going on um, last week is that I try in Notepad to write in, and I don't know why I picked Notepad. It was so stupid of me. There's probably so many other programs that you can do this, like I don't know, Word or something. But as an old school girl, I opened up Notepad on my computer because I know there is this search tool where you can write a word and then you can ask Notepad to bring up all the pages that include that specific word. I know you probably can do that in, in other writing programs too. I'm just yeah, I blame it on being sick. I just started doing it in Notepad. I just kind of like the font in Notepad too. It takes me back to the early days of computer, and I can almost hear the sound of the old school printer going like nee 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 nee, when I'm reading the lines. So yeah, um, I took a document in WordPad and then I started to write in a mix of her analysis and then what I grab on YouTube, and then I write what I feel it should represent. Like in this case here, let's look at her description. I'm just gonna grab the book. Guys, it's in Danish, so I don't need to show you because I don't expect that you can read Danish. So I'm just gonna translate it while I read it. Um, According to her, the moon is a symbol of intuition, dreams, and the unknown. And it's depicted with the beautiful moth that represent reborn and renew, like rebirth and renewal. And then it also briefly talks about these two wolves down here. One of them is howling and one is not. And it represents the tame and the wild of the unknown. Hi, Chris Clue. Hi, welcome to my desk. Oh, I'm glad you're here. I'm just going to put this big book back. Oh, welcome to my desk. I'm sitting here coloring in this page with alcohol markers because I chose to work with markers for my Inktober. So that's basically what's going on. And then I am trying to learn the meaning of each tarot card. Oh my God, look, I used it up. Okay, I'm thrilled. I have been neglecting my markers, so for me, I don't know, there's something extremely satisfying in using up a whole marker because I know I used it up on a project and it didn't dry up by itself. So yeah, I'll see if I can get as much ink as I can out of this chiseled nib because now I just started to draw with this color here. So let's cross our fingers that most of the ink has been transported down to this chisel nib here. I actually feel that I want to take apart a marker and see how does it look inside. Is it like liquid ink, or because when you look at refills of alcohol markers, it's like a liquid fluid thing that you refill it with. So I'm thinking that this barrel here might be hollow, and then since it has been standing up, the bullet tip no longer got fed with ink. So it's all the ink that's left in this marker is down at the chisel tip. I don't know. Please leave a comment if you're a person who has been using a lot of markers and know about how they actually act up when they're running out of ink. Because the barrel is not transparent, it's harder for me to see how much is left. So in this case where I feel that one end of the marker is running dry, I'm of course focused on trying to use it as much as possible on this drawing here, so I securely can bin it afterwards, knowing that I used it all up. Oh my god, I am psyched. What is it called? Like rabbit trail. I just got so happy because I don't know. It marker is not an art supply that I work a lot with, so I'm not used to these situations where we use up a marker. Okay. Oh my god, so much text. I'm sorry. I am an amateur tarot. Oh, interesting. I haven't had time to continue practicing lately. Interesting, Chris. You are at the right place. Rest in peace, whatever you were watching before I went live, because you just ended up the right place. Are those your illustrations or are they from a coloring book? I think markers have a sponge, okay, or similar. I keep them horizontally in storage. Sometimes I use a syringe to inject alcohol before buying a new one. Oh, I tried to dip the nib in alcohol, but it only pushed away the ink. I thought that if I dipped the nib in alcohol in a yellow marker that I had to bin, that it would like dissolve the leftover ink or something. But it seems to just push it. That's interesting. Um, it's not my own illustrations. At first, I knew that people are gonna say like, "Oh, when you're putting so much work in coloring them, then why don't you just make your own?" But when it comes to tarot cards and it's a new subject, I am I don't know what should be put into the card. You know what I mean? Like these two wolves here, they represent something. Um, I don't think that I would put wolves in my moon card. So yeah, I just don't feel like I am skilled enough to make my own illustrations from scratch, because you would have to know what to emphasize, right? Okay, I'm just gonna try and copy her color scheme here. But okay, let me continue. I studied the moon card today, and apparently there is also a dark side to the moon card, and it's about lunatic. You know, it's about um, compelling energy where you cannot let things go, and you keep pondering about, like, late at night you are twisting and turning in bed because you are reliving a situation, and the situation don't have its outcome yet, so it's driving you nuts. I think we all have been in that space of life, where, let's see, tarot cards has a lot of symbolism, especially the major arcana. Yeah, yeah, it really does. I This is card number 18 that I'm coloring in, and I keep bumping into different ways that people have illustrated the different cards. And even though the cards are the same, you can still see how they have taken artistic liberty to choose their illustrations, but a lot of key elements are going to be represented in from deck to deck. So there must be some basic um, items that must appear in a card. Yeah, if it makes sense. But yeah, back to the moon card here. What I do first is that I take my deck Yes, the moon card, when it appears, it carries not a very positive message. It can also be associated with illness, mental or physical, hidden shadow, and path. Yeah, and her interpretation in this, and this is just a coloring book, I know, was like super positive. She was just like glossing over and just saying that, oh, it's about the known and the unknown, and then stop there. So what I usually do is that I take this tarot card deck that I have bought, and it came with this very valuable book where I look up the card, and then as you can see, the illustrator of this deck here, which is inspired by Art Nouveau, have chosen a woman instead of the fool, and she's looking at a half curved moon instead of a full moon. And you don't necessarily see the howling wolves, but you see some underlying figures down here that could looks like fish or something. And fish lives in water, and water represent feelings, so it could be like the subconscious that's the illustrator is trying to illustrate down here. And then this search, looking upward. um So let's just see. The moon can reveal uncomfortable things about ourselves and create an unclear path as she waxes and wanes. And I'm from Denmark, so stuff like that I would need to translate because it translates super crazy in my head. As a Dane reading this in English, it makes like no sense. So there is also this language barrier between me and understanding all of these tarot cards. Yeah, it's about holding your head cool and navigate through murky waters. And I think to me, a moon card will represent something that's very familiar for myself. I am sleep deprived. I think most of you guys know. Um, I'm sleep deprived. I have seen more sunrises and moons than I have seen sunsets in my life. And my way of thinking is changed uh, in nighttime. I don't know if it's just for me or if it's normal for all nocturnal creatures, but we seems to have like bigger and broader thoughts when we are sitting in the dark. The rest of the house is asleep. You don't have any obligations. You don't need to look at the clock thinking like, oh, I need to go and make dinner right now. Like there is a different energy around you when you are sitting up at night, sleep deprived, and need to some sort of keep busy, like just entertain yourself until you go in and try and fall asleep again. Yeah. And for me, the moon energy will be exactly that, because it gives me excess amount of time to sit and ponder over things. So I kind of feel that that's my intuitive interpretation of the lunar energy in my end of the world. So I'm writing those things down in my notepad, and then if I in a pull draws this lunar card, I will look up that page in my notepad, and it will show me different people's interpretation of exactly this card, and then also my own conclusion in the end. So that's how I'm working with learning these tarot cards. So you could say it's a little bit intuitive, you could say, where I am not memorizing the the description in the book, for instance. I'm not sitting down trying to memorize that page and feeling that then it's set in stone. This is how it is. I am trying to put my own spin on things, and what I feel is closer to, you could say, my truth. And this is where it's fun to play with these tarot cards because I feel that there's like no rules because I treat it so based on just intuition. So yeah, it's really funny. Okay, I got a golden pen. Oh, let me see. Um, you need to revise your notes again. Exactly. You have to have personal notes, right? Like I started my notepad script because I feel that I need to lean on my personal notes and not just try like back in school to memorize other people's scripture. Welcome to the adventure of collecting tarot cards. I have like 14 decks, but I consciously decide not to get one. Yeah, 14 decks. That's a lot. I only got this deck here, and it was a bit surprised to buy the deck because this coloring book here only have 46 pages in it. It got like the major arcana, and then it's got like the five intro cards of the minor arcana, and I thought that was it. So I was thinking 46 cards, that's not a lot. It's doable. I can do this. And then I bought this deck here, and immediately when I took it out of the box, I was mesmerized about, oh my god, that's a lot of cards. That's way more than 46, right? So I realized that all the cards that are like 1 to 10 of swords, cups, wands, pentacles is not in this coloring book. Yeah, so can you see how this project suddenly expanded and grew with additional 40 drawings where I have to create the illustration on those 40 drawings. So in a way, it spooked me a little bit and scared me off the project. But on the other hand, I was thinking, just truck on, Lena, and then illustrate all the illustration in this coloring book. Get to know what they're teaching about the major and the minor arcana. And then when that time comes, it will be easier for me to find illustrations for when I'm working with the Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, if you know what I mean. That what they have in my coloring book is stuff like Ace of, here it is, Pentacles, and the King and the Queen. What else? Yeah. So yeah, but it's a big project. I recommend this book, Kitchen Table Tarot by Melissa Sivona. You will love the way she takes you to use intuition and meanings of cards. Yeah, because I feel that if you have to be like fluent in understanding these things here, you must be like super intuitive. Um, I also feel it's difficult to keep laying spreads just for myself. You can only do that so many times, right? So it would be interesting if somebody would volunteer, step up, and say, "Hey, Lena, try lay a spread for me, and let's see how far you have gone into your progress." So, would you be up for that, Chris? Like, I try and lay a spread for you now. Hi, Amber. Welcome to my desk. Oh my God, Amber, you just walked right into a big question. You would? Okay, okay. Let's take this for you. Oh my God, you're my first. Chris, you're my first. So, okay, okay. I am so exciting. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. This is actually, oh my God. I've been looking forward to this because, like I said before, laying spreads for myself is just, a little bit tedious. I'm just gonna get a piece of paper because I want to write something on the paper first. So I'm just gonna get a piece of paper. Okay, don't get scared. I sound super serious, but it is because I never do anything half-assed. So if I want to learn something, I jump in it really seriously. So I will try and make this worth your time. So I will try not to do just a shallow spread doing a repetition of what this book says that it means. Just tell me if you need more info. I normally do short 3 spreads to practice. Maybe your astrological sign would be interesting because I have tried to pair it up with astrology in my notepad. I don't know if you would reveal your astrologic sign. You are a Taurus. Um, that's the Tyren. Okay, I need to translate in English to Danish to be absolutely sure that I got the right uh, astrologic sign. Taurus. Let's see. Yes, it's what I think it is. Okay, I'm just gonna blow my nose. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just still sick. Okay, I'm gonna hold my cards in the hand, um, just to warm them up a little bit, and then I'm gonna do like you said, 3-tier spread. I'm thinking past, present, future. Is that the sounding cool? So let me write that down on my desk here. And here I'm gonna ask the cards, what did you just overcome from your past that was good? Or what kind of obstacles did you maybe encounter in your past that you're still working with in the present? So this is the present. So the present is like a thermometer, like you're taking your temperature at right now. And the future is if you get a good advice here in the present and you follow it, how will it change your future? Because people can say a lot of good things and good advice, but if you don't follow them, then no change is happening. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle the card. This is fun. I hope that you're having fun. I'm not good at shuffling the cards so that one falls out like randomly. So I am shuffling until I feel that I shuffled enough. Oh, you have used this spread before? That's perfect. Okay, Chris Terrace, the past card. I'm thinking out loud because we have to ask this deck, what card does Chris need to be shown for her right now regarding the past? I'm gonna turn this card here. It's a 5 of Wands. We are in the minor arcana. I'm gonna pick all the cards and then we will look at them. In the present, what card can we pick? Chris. I'm gonna turn this one here. Page of Swords. Oh my god, you have a lot of swords going on. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, I can never. I do try, but look how tall they are. So I cannot like shuffle the Vegas style. So what I do is that you cannot hear it, but inside my head, I am repeatedly asking this deck. I am focusing on Chris, and then what is the message to give to Chris for the future? I'm gonna flip this. Six of Wands. Oh my god, this is looking good. Okay, I need to, because I am new at this, I need to pull out the only thing I can remember is that Taurus is an earth sign. So now I'll go into my notepad. Um, okay, I pulled up the wands. Um, um, what do we know about this Taurus? Okay, your astrologic sign helps you in this spread here because it's going to ground you. Let me just get rid of my notification. Interesting that it's only minor arcana. Yeah, it really is. Okay, Five of Wands. It could represent a time where there's been some sort of unsettled, like something competitive, if it rings a bell. Um, in my notes, I have stuff like it could be a misunderstanding, a clashing of values in relations to, let's just say, work. If you have a coworker that feels different than you and you still have to maintain that professional tone, you could have had a situation like that. So it can lead you to be dragged into an unnecessary kind of drama. So I think that's why this card is illustrating that it's almost like a battle going on. The battle here in the illustration represents the drama, where can you see how this person right here is not drawing its stick yet, but all the rest of them have their sticks out. So it could be telling us that it's still lingering in your head like it normal would do, you know, if you went through something. So in the presence, uh, I think this is positive. So let's say that you had experienced something that was unsettling. You are now reaching more clarity, and you're also curious. So you got the strength to try objectively to look back at the situation with fresh eyes and trying to make it settle inside of you. Um, Tarots are deep thinkers and very good at observing things. So I feel that when I say that she is almost like coming out stronger and victoriously, but also looking back at the situation and thinking about it because there's always something to learn. And it's just a gift to be able to look at things in retrospect and pull out some sort of wisdom from it. Um, I don't see her like rushing into a next fight, but I see her ready. Um, yeah, I think this is actually positive. I think this is positive. In the future, I think this is like perfect Tara's energy, like success and yep. I just like this is like the victorious look. He's got this reef up here. He's leaving the battle scene. So I read in this card here that it's stability, it's hard work that paid off. Um, and also, can you see there is some men in the background here? I read that as admiration from the people that was involved in the conflict of the way that it was handled by you. And this is definitely a person going forward, not broken down after the experience. So when I look at this journey, if we interpret it in that way, this is like super positive, like having some something that brought instability, coming out of it victoriously, still on guard, but learning from the experience. And then in the future, when it has settled in you, you will add this to your tool bag as something positive that you can look back on. And it looks like you handled it super well because you got the admiration of people behind you. What about these flowers here? Let me see. Wonder what sort of flowers they are. Um, I'm curious about why did the author paint flowers. I'm just gonna look in the book. Was it a nice reading? Let's see. Yes, clarity and resilience to make correct decisions. Um, to learn from the battles in the past to decide with more clarity and obtain success. Let's see what this book is saying. I'm interested in that Six of Wands. Um, yeah, it's about strength and confidence and listening to your inner values so that you don't get clouded by ego. Doesn't really mention why. I'm just curious, why are there flowers there? Maybe you know. I don't even know. I'm thinking about illurt, which is a European flower that could resemble change. Um, yeah, but I'm not sure about the botanical part. But for me, it looks like illurt, which is a Danish flower that we have up here in Europe. So, yeah. Oh my God, this is Dilanthus. Is that? Let me see if I can Google that. Dilanthus. Oh, it's more like looking like a carnation. I'm getting a like an illurt. What is the English name for an illurt? Illurt. Um, let's Wikipedia. Oh my God, I can't pronounce that. Is there another illurt? Mm, okay, I'm trying to figure out the name. No, that's not it. Oh my God, I'm in the mercy of Google, who is not showing me. It's showing me a lot of where you can buy seeds from it. Um, None of it is with other Danish names. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera and show. Maybe I can do that. Let's see. I think I need both screens. Oh my God, I hate when I have to do this. Like this flower here. To me, I interpreted transformation in it because if you notice, it starts out with a white color in the center, and then it transform its color. So I kind of intuitively think about transformation, but in a positive way, because this is not starting out with a light color; it's starting out with a dark color, but going to the light, like brighter, brighter. But it's the intuitive part of the reading where, you know, things can go a little bit cray cray, because now I'm not leaning up against any written text, more like a feeling I get. I've had online readings like this before with a tarot reader named Iris Rainbow, but she hadn't been live for months now. Oh, okay. Um, but it was it like similar? Like, I think it's interesting. I think it's fun to pull cards for people who are not myself, because I really feel that I am. You can only pull so many times for yourself during a week, you know. But did you like the reading? Was it okay? She's probably busy taking care of her grandkids. I'm just mesmerized how some can talk about half an hour about one single card. It's really mesmerizing. My Google say it's also known as corn cockle flower. Oh, mm, you liked it? Oh, I am so happy. I think it's if you have to take it seriously, you know what I mean? Like full-hearted. Um oh, that's nice, Amber. Like try not to if there is a word that wants to come out, I try just to spit it out, you know, like instead of hiding it inside of my mouth. And that's also a little bit scary because it makes me sound a little bit crazy, you know. But I think that's a part of this. That's the name of the game with this. Amber, would you like me to pull three cards for you? Oh, don't feel pressured. Uh, I don't wanna push you. I can also pull three cards for myself. I keep pulling the tower for myself. That is so scary. Something important in tarot is you cannot read to people who do not consent. Yeah, that's right. You cannot read to people who don't believe. Okay. Yeah, I think you really need to have an open mind, you know. Oh, Amber, you would love to? Oh, thank you so much. I think this is exciting. This is going to be very different because I kind of feel I know Amber. You know, I got some very familiar vibes coming from Amber. I've never met Amber in real life, in person, but she's very close. You are an Aries. Okay, I need to Google that. Um, Areas. Villa. Oh, yeah. I can see. I can see you being that. Is April the 1st? I'm asking the cards. I am. What's going on in my head is that I'm asking this deck, Amber, what card from the past is worth pulling from this deck because it's still something worth paying attention to. I'm gonna pull this card here. King of Cups. Oh my god, what a strong start. You starts out strong, Amber, which is an Aries start, we could say. Action, energy. Let's pull a present card for Amber. We just got the King of Cups from her past. I'm gonna pull this one here. The Well. Oh, this is interesting. In the future, is there a card with a message for Amber? Is there something from the Well? If she follows her intuition from that, what would the outcome be? I feel this card here. Seven of Swords. Okay, I'm gonna ask my notes. Um, King of Cups. King of Cups. Let me see what it says about this. More about the Well. Let me pull up the notes. Yeah, I like this card. I really like pulling this because you told me that you were an Aries, and that's like a very strong astrologic sign, very about action, energy, emotion. So, and the king is like the leader. So, I think this shows that you have taken the reins of the life in your own hands, and you feel that you're in a spot where you can navigate without losing control of your feelings. Also, very look at the way that he's illustrated, so caring and gentle, like you wouldn't feel hard to come to a person looking so nice and gentle to ask for advice. So there's a lot of diplomacy in the way that this is illustrated. Of course, everything is about balance when it comes to emotions. Um, And maybe that's what this present card is about, because the Welt is about deep reflection, and it's about pulling from within an answer. So when you are in a hard situation, you must pull the answer from inside yourself and not seek it by asking people for help. So I think this card here is telling you that if you have had something that was difficult, trust that you can lean on your inner strength if you are getting thrown out of balance. But this is also, for me, represented as some sort of a wishing well, if I translate it correctly, like being able to put words on what you want and what you desire, or how you want to be in the future, is very strong. A lot of people just go through lives in a very mechanical way where they don't stop and ponder about things. So when I see this card, I think it represents a person who is able to stop and ponder and really ask yourself, is this what I want? Um, so even though that there is a lot of things that's very impulsive in our daily day life, we get so many inputs. You are still able to get hold of yourself and ask yourself the important question: what do Amber wants? Um, let's see, like really maturity here, emotionally maturity. Um, thinking before you act. And what is this card? Seven of Swords. 2, 3, 4. Og så 2 og 1. Is this about strategy and planning? Like you harvested 4 of your swords. You still got 2 to pick up. Um, okay, I'm gonna read your chat. Let's see. Yes, I definitely try to be like that. You think before you act and speak. Yes, yeah. Yeah, we learn that lesson fast as we get older. I know this is a conundrum for me. I think I need the book to help me with this. My intuitive thought when I saw this card was something about you being able to, because you are thinking before you act, you got a lot of aces in your sleeve, and you still got opportunities to pick up. I'm thinking the more swords you have, the stronger you stand. And I'm seeing this as as a strategy, like strategic. Um, it's not like a typical impulsive person. It's yeah. I need to look. I need to look this up. So let me see. Seven of Swords. There might be some area in your life where you're not completely honest with yourself on others. Now is the time to recognize the deception of denial and confront it. You may think that you're getting away with something, but what is the cost of your actions? What does it mean to you? How does that sit in your heart? Okay, so something going on right here leads to this situation here. Oh my God, it's a difficult one, Amber. But you're coming off super strong. Let's see what this book says about the well. Let's see where it have it. Oh my God, I'm so bad at looking up in this book here. The well is the birthplace of ideas, inspiration, and transformation. All things are birthed from this creatrix whose knowledge flows freely to those who seek it. So this card actually represents a birthplace of good ideas. Okay, then it actually makes sense that I'm thinking about strategy over here. Like to make things come true, you need a strategy. What does the seven of swords? I'm not familiar with seven of swords cards. It's the first time that I've pulled it. Responsibility. Okay, I'm thinking that in the future you might actually be facing a situation where you have to think back on your own wishes. What did you want out of this? And stick to it. So it's not like a crisis thing, it's just strategically stick to what you agreed with yourself that you wanted, and don't get impulsive and be influenced to take another path. Stay true to this, because you have built up this strength of being King of Cups. Let me read about King of Cups. I only told you my feeling from that card, but let's read what this book is saying. Uh, I normally use the Seven of Swords as warning of treason from someone else or to avoid conflicts with people. I don't know if that will help you. Okay, so it is actually some sort of strategy move, right? Don't you feel like that too? Like watch out, and you got four aces up your sleeve, but you still can pick up two from that's available to you. But this person has drawn its sword, so this person is ready. Like it's not like peacetime. King of Cups represent our emotional stability, our ability to unite our logic minds with our passionate hearts. So much of your your astrologic sign, right? Take all things into consideration and approach each situation with love, compassion, and patience. Yes, I was feeling the same. Like you can go to this person here with your asking for help, like very friendly received. Um, when the king is present, we have leveled up in our emotional states. We see things differently and approach things with love. We need to find balance and calm. There is no need to rush or feel overwhelmed. Yeah, this is I think I got good first impression of these two cards, and this one I was struggling a little bit with. Not because it's a negative card, but more because it's the first time that I need to face this card here. Um, let's see. Using the knowledge of the king and the wall to be strategic in action. Yeah, that's how I feel it is. Oh, you think that I'm doing a good job? What about you, Amber? It's your reading. Does this ring a bell? Like, are you in a situation where you in the future may need to take your stand, and then look inside? The answer is inside you and not something that you need help from others to reach. Like, if you feel um, in an unbalanced situation to come in the future, trust that you got the answer inside yourself, and you got a lot of strength to pull from. So yeah, I'm waiting for If Amber is still here, it does make sense with my life in general, but I'm not exactly sure about specific. Yeah, I know that. That's why it's so difficult with these readings, because and I actually think to help myself, I've started a tarot journal where I'm being journaling about my own spreads because I think sometimes they can be understood in retrospect. Like when a week has passed and I look at a week's old spread, I can sometimes see some things that, oh, maybe it was that direction. I have read cards for friends and family before. They told me I was spot on. I stopped due to my job, too much to do as university professor, but I do want to read tarot again. I think I am motivated to do this because I want to wake up my intuition. Honestly, I feel after I got put on medication, my brain just has changed. It's like my intuition fell asleep. So that's actually the hidden agenda why I picked this topic because I want to wake up my sixth sense and my intuition. I feel I've been sleeping the past 2 years. I definitely am the one others come to for advice or a shoulder to lean on. I know, Amber. Yes, yes. And it's because you ooze that confident about you trust what you feel, where other people's may easily be pushed over in insecurity. But it's a very, very good asset to have in life that you can zone in on an opinion and take a stance on it. So hold on to that. That's really, really a good strength to have. So, but yeah, this is. Thanks for letting me do this. I cannot say how grateful I am for this because none in my family wants me to do reading from them because they look at it with pagan eyes, like, ooh, that hocus pocus, I don't believe in it. And like Chris said earlier, you cannot do a reading for people who don't embrace it. People needs to be open to receive these kind of things. It's not even just people I know. I've met someone for the first time on many occasions, and they tell me everything. That is such a high praised value to possess, because there is a lot of things embedded in that. Amber, one of the biggest things are trust. When you open your heart to, let's say, a stranger, it is because you can sense that they can hold your secret, and it's a very rare, unique skill. Not many people are trustworthy in our lives. So it's super, super positive. And also the fact that you can sit with their emotions, like you don't get startled. Like people can tell you some really shocking things, and you can hold it for them and listen without being spooked. There's nothing worth when a person is, for instance, I'm just talking about myself. If a friend comes to me and tell me something that they've been battling with, and I get scared or spooked on their behalf, then I am just as scared as them. And then how can I help them? So you need that steady rock. So, but I also think that tarot cards, let's see, you can also practice by taking a public figure and reading cards for them. I started like that. What? Like, just pick a random person, like an actor or. Okay. But I thought that when you had to do a reading, that people should know that you are reading them. Like, That is true, and I don't judge people. Yeah, that lies in the trust, you know? That would be funny. As a random person. Okay, should we try? Okay, pick a person. Are you sure that it's gonna work? Like somebody who don't know that we are doing this? Okay, if you pick a person, we'll try and make a spread for them. Oh, I'm just gonna blow my nose. Oof. I'm gonna mute myself because I'm really gonna blow my nose. Hang on a second. Okay, George Clooney. We gotta be hard on him. I looked him up. He is born the 6th of May, 1961. Here am I. And he is raising children in province. What does it say? Yes, American actor. Okay, I'm just looking at his picture. I'm trying to zone in my antennas on George Clooney. So I'm just looking up on Wikipedia just random things about, how old he is, when is his birthday, and then he's a terrorist. Yeah. Okay, they just clarify the audience. It is done for entertainment purpose. Yes, this is just entertainment. Let's do one on George Clooney and let's be hard on him, okay? Like, I'm just gonna say whatever pops in my mind. George Clooney. George Clooney, yeah, makes me think of coffee. I think it's because he had so many coffee commercials. Just by saying his name, George Clooney, I can feel his vibrato voice. He's got a very significant voice. You're not in doubt. If you walk through a room, something is on the TV and it's George Clooney speaking. You just need to hear him say one sentence and you know that's George Clooney. So I'm trying to think about that, thinking about him. This is funny. This is crazy. Okay, we're gonna do this one for the past. I'm on a roll here. I need to go to the center of this deck. And then we're gonna pull the bottom for his future. Okay, this is George Clooney. What has he been battling with in the past? Eight of Pentacles. Of course, he's rich. Yeah, he is in his late season guy. He's got all his deposits placed. Three of Swords. That can actually be good or bad. Those swords need to be pulled out. Can you see it? Like there's almost like one sword too many. King of Pentacles. That is actually really funny because initially this spread tells me about It's about earthly values, and he's aiming to be the king of pentacles. And right now, he is so close to the end game, but there is something. Um, yeah, Three of Swords. It's not good. There's something going on here. Okay, I'm gonna put in the notes in my notepad and see what does it say. Uh, oh, I don't have a lot written down. I don't have many notes on the pentacles. It's very sparingly. Uh, okay, we're gonna take it. George Clooney. I think this is about his work, his profession. He's a Hollywood paid actor. Um, Persistence. Um, if you say that 9 and 10 is like the goal, he's so close to the 9 and 10. Like he's got 8 pentacles and he's still working on creating more. So it could be like he is perfecting his craft as an actor. And in doing so, it will not only give him more fame, but it will always give him a good paycheck. But this is about perfecting your skills. And for George Clooney, it could also be about perfecting his image in social media, like really consolidating his marriage and making everything look like Hollywood going good, in the media. I am visualizing this image of him and his wife walking out on the red carpet, polished. Everything is just for show. Everything is just yeah, for show. That's a good word. Yeah, I'm getting the vibe about perfecting the craft, and the craft may not be so much about money, the skills, like being a good actor, but also polishing an image. I feel really, really bad having to talk about this one here with George Clooney. This is about grief. It's about big disappointment. It could be a triangle thing where there is like infidelity. 2, 3, like 3 is like one too many, and this one is from the bottom. Personal loss, but also about public scandal. So the image I get about this red carpet can be totally ruined by this card here if it's about public scandals. But it's also a card about learning. It's a card about through pain and heartache. When you heal from this position, you can actually come out quite decent. Life is not about a flat curve. Everything runs in cycles, like waves, like up and down, up and down. So he may, at this moment where we speak, have some imbalance that is causing him like emotional stress. I'm not talking about infidelity, but I am thinking about 3 is one too many in a relationship. This is just entertainment, right? He's a Taurus, and it can maybe show that his success by achieving the 8 of Pentacle has not come without a price. So maybe it has cost him some private, in his privacy, like his personal love life. On the expense of that, he has achieved um, his his yearning to build his craft being an actor so hard that it cost him on his emotional marriage. It could be something like that, because this is about wealth, stability, success, responsibility. The king, he's holding the scepter, he's holding the pentacle. He decides. So it's also about materialistic and financial security. He's probably the biggest breadwinner in his house. He's the one earning the money, so he's not having a relationship maybe where he needs to tell his wife, can I spend $2,000 on an item? He is making all the decisions, and that's good or bad. um, Very practical guy, like successful. So I would say that this reading is telling me about a guy who works really hard to achieve this position here, but it may cost him on his emotional life. Could be his marriage. I don't know. Um, there is something about you can come out of this situation here matured, so you can sit on this throne here also, like, to earn respect, you have to deal with this in a proper manner in the light of public. So thinking about George Clooney, it could be a story about success and triumph, a dedicated worker, but he has had some deep personal things that he's battling with. Um, yeah, yeah. In general, it's super positive because this is what he wants, and this is how he ends, right? So the goal is fulfilled, but does he has all his pentacles with him when he sits on this throne here? Yeah, but let's see. No, you are correct on the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, so you feel the same, like this could be like his reading. Yeah, this is a strange one. This one, Three of Swords. I'm thinking that it can also be something about you're unfaithful to your own heart. Like if you're a workaholic. Let's say he's a workaholic, then this spread makes sense. Like you want to get so good at your craft as an actor, then you know that it's going to cost you on your private and personal life, but you still do it despite that you know that when it's time to harvest the fruit, you can just sit on a pile of money, but you'd have no one to share it with, because you're a workaholic. So you didn't spend enough time to put energy into what really matters in the end, which is like family and all those values about nurturing friendships. And so picture this guy sitting on this mountain of money, but no one to share it with, because you drop people on the way to get to here. So I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, in general it's positive. It's very positive. But yeah, this was fun. But it's also, the Three of Swords could also be accepting past wounds in order to learn. Yeah, okay. By the way, let's look up in the book. Oh, I'm just gonna cough. Hang on. Oh, I'm gonna mute myself. Ooh, I'm back. Oh, Amber writes that it makes sense he's in marriage and started his family life very late. Yeah, it could. Yeah, you know what? If you take that angle, it could show a very big dedication of a person who really dedicated everything to establish a career. And then with career comes pentacles because if you're getting paid a lot or you acquire a lot of things. So let's look up that three of swords because it's such a beautiful card, by the way. Don't you just like the colors and all the gilded illumination? So it looks friendly, but I don't feel that it's a nice card. Three of swords. Lean into your discomfort instead of running from it. There is much to learn when we allow ourselves to feel pain. The feeling may be a jolt to your reality when things seems to be going well. Honor your grief, reach out to a trusted friend or family member and let yourself feel. Yeah, so it's about pain and heartache, deception, rejection. Yeah, that's this was fun. But and I think we all saw him as someone who didn't want that, but actually maybe family is he was working so hard because that was his real goal to be able to focus on his family. I'm getting the feeling that he was picky, you know, like I'm getting this feeling that the kind of women he encountered because of his position in society was not really the women that he was searching for. So he might just have been extremely picky. Like, yes, I think so. He didn't want just anyone. I also feel that he's got the look of this playboy, but I don't think that he necessarily was that big of a schmuck. He wasn't like this big heartbreaker. So maybe he just was very picky. It must be imagine being like this successful, well-known actor, for instance. How many offers that you get, like you really get that feeling that you walk into a room and you can hitch up with anybody in the room because everybody wouldn't turn you down. It must be so strange to be in that position. Maybe he was afraid to trust because he's been hurt before. Yeah, I really feel that he's a very emotional man, like also the roles that he have, and he's not afraid to portray himself as a fool, through his acting. There is a lot of films where you're thinking like, why did he say yes to this part? But I think it's because he is sincerely trying out um roles that are different and not just the classic. Like, I think some of the worst thing that can happen to an actor is to be chosen to be the new James Bond, because then you are like locked into a certain character. I feel that he has been trying throughout his career not never to be locked in as a certain profile, so he now can play several roles, and it would feel natural for us to see him in those roles. Yeah, he has a wide range of emotions. Yes, and he is one of those few actors who can actually be a sympathetic, a, a villain that you feel sympathy for. I'm thinking about the Ocean 11, 12, 13 movies where he somehow is a villain, but he's still a villain that you cheer on. So yeah, this was fun. And once again, this is just entertainment. But this is fun. I really feel that I've been on this medication that sort of makes me so sleepy, and I lost something, and I can't really put words on it, but I sort of blame it on, I put my intuition into sleep. So I can really feel that this game, this is just a game, right? Is waking up that side inside of me where you, in a playful way, are guessing, and you're using these cards to guide your guesses, and then you have to see a correlation in between three cards. It makes you think. And then also you're looking up, I'm looking in my notes for the astrologic signs, because I also feel that I could learn a lot more about astrology. So I really think that it's an interesting topic, this tarot card. Yeah, maybe it has clouded a third eye, like I used to be good at guessing stuff. For instance, when we had the physical store where I was serving customers hours on end, sometimes the regular customers, I was selling DVDs and movies. um, Regular customers would come to me and then ask me like, "Can you suggest a movie that I can buy?" And then I have to remember their taste, and I have to run out into the stock and then pull down from the shelf a movie that I think they would enjoy watching. Oh, I'm just gonna blow my nose. Hang on. Oops. So I felt very in tune with myself when I was serving customers, because it's all about trying to lock into their needs and their personality. Like you're very observant, and you take it seriously, like you want to hitch them up with a good movie for the night. So I felt more in training, if you could say so. But that's also why I can sit here and say that I don't think that I'm the same mentally as I was before, because I feel like clouded or pulled it to sleep or something. Oh, that's a bit like tarot, I think, because you need to have intuition about their vibes. Yes, yes, exactly. And you get that with regular customers, because they leave small sentences about their life, their family constellation, something that happened, or you kind of get a good vibe from them if they're what genre they like to be entertained by. So yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just like back in the old days when you I'm talking like the really old days when you went to the library and you asked the lady that's behind the counter in the library if she could suggest a book for you. Uh, some of them were super good at suggesting the next book you can read based on they remember what you handed in. So yeah, it's really funny. But I think that I ran out of time in October, because I wanted to play like this throughout October, and then I got sick. So I think I'm gonna expand this tarot theme all the way into November, so I can explore it more. But okay, guys, maybe I should stop now. This has been very interesting. I hope that you were highly entertained. And I'm so sorry for not being like 100% present in my brain, because I still feel that I'm sick. So I feel like I'm also running on this reptile part of my brain, like that reptile bit, like who's ringing on my door? There's somebody at the door. And then I'll just go out like a dinosaur. So I feel like I've been very, very like that, because I've been sick. But no, guys, thank you. Thank you, Chris and Amber, for playing with me tonight. It was really, really worthwhile it for me. I mean, I thank you guys so much for um just being game on, and then yeah, I think I learned so much from this stream tonight. This was the first time doing these spreads, and I can feel there's this light inside of me thinking like this was fun, more. So thank you to Amber and Chris, you really helped me. It was so cool. But now I think I want to go and get a cup of hot tea. It was fun. Yes. I'm so glad I turned on the camera. Now I think I'm gonna go get a hot cup of tea, and I'm gonna wish you guys a super duper weekend and a nice day. So, bye bye.